Welcome, everybody, to The World is a Mess, and I just want to steampunk it. This is episode 74, August 21st, 2022. I'm your host, Steampunk Star Raisin. I'm here in North Hollywood, California, USA. I'm here with my co-host, Daniel Berterson, in Bellwood, Ontario, Canada. How's it going, Daniel?
All right. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay. I guess we can do Ukraine war update. Let me bring up the map. I really love the map they have on the Al Jazeera website. It gives me a crystal clear focus of an overall view of the war. All righty, let's share the screen. All right, can you see that? Hello?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, so this is they do a live map. So this is updated. The red areas are the areas the Russians control.
I can't see.
Hey, whoa, stay with me. What's going on? Do you need to
No, my dad asked me a question.
Oh, okay. Tell him you're doing live stream. Anything he asks is going to be on camera.
All right.
Anyway, yeah, so basically the red areas are the areas the Russians control. The white areas, the blue areas indicate counterattacks by Ukrainian forces. And the yellow area is the Donbass region that Russia's trying to control. The main objective of Russia is to try to gobble up this yellow region so that they could cut off Ukraine forces from eastern Ukraine and central Ukraine. Ukraine has launched some counterattacks, like here towards Kherson, but they seem to be largely ineffective. They've launched some counterattacks here. There's some partisan activity right here. These circles right here show significant fighting within the last 24 hours. And this is a live map. It's day 179 of the war in Ukraine, August 21st, 2022, at 6 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, which is an international time, held in Switzerland. But yeah, from the last time that we reported on this, it seems like Ukrainian forces have recaptured some territory in the Donbass region. They seem to have been counterattacking to try to split Russian forces in two in the north and south. Russians have redeployed their forces from Kiev to the east so that they can better consolidate their forces. The main problem that the Ukrainian army is having is the lack of artillery. They have artillery, but not as much as the Russians. The Russians outnumber them on artillery like 10-1. And I think that's the reason why, like, even a month later, they've only, the Ukrainian counterattack has only succeeded in limited gains. They haven't been able to retake Kherson. They haven't been able to retake Mariupol, although they've been able to defend Kharkiv and Kiev. But so the war has largely gone into a stalemate where neither side has made much territorial gains. I mean, the Russians have made a modest amount of territorial gains in the south and in the east. And with the Russians taking Kherson, they're able to supply Crimea with water because the Ukrainian army had blocked the canal that irrigated water to Crimea. And the Russian forces, I think, dynamited the block in the canal because the Ukrainians had filled it with concrete. And so it has allowed them to resupply Crimea with water. Yeah, Ukraine doesn't have enough manpower or enough artillery to totally kick Russia out of eastern Ukraine. So who knows how long this war will go on? It could go on for years, sadly. And like I said last time when I did a Ukraine war update, I am really worried because Russia controls most of the Black Sea area, with the exception of Odessa. And the Russian Navy has naval superiority, even though the Ukrainians have succeeded in sinking some Russian ships. This means that Ukraine is going to have problems getting grain out, and I know that they did have an agreement through Turkey to deliver some grain to try to combat the worldwide food supply shortage and increasing inflation when it comes to food prices. But it's still, if you're fighting a war, it's going to be hard to productively grow crops, and a lot of the crops in Ukraine are here in the eastern Ukraine territory. But yeah, so it's largely turned into a stalemate. The Ukrainian army has managed to kick Russia's ass in the Battle of Kiev, but Russia redeployed their forces to the east so that they could better focus and center their forces. And it's, with the Ukrainian army having a large supply of anti-tank weapons like the Javelin anti-tank missile, and the Russians now have turned to old school tactics, which is basically just massing artillery. Instead of using tank assault, they're now using infantry and artillery, and Ukraine has counterattacked, and it looks like they've retaken some territory, but the territory they have taken has really failed to split Russian forces in two. But yeah, if I were a Ukrainian commander, I would focus on this region here so that they could split Russian forces in two, which will make the Russian forces less consolidated so that you can eliminate pockets. But yeah, they apparently either lack the manpower or the artillery or both to properly kick Russia out of eastern Ukraine, so the war continues on and with no end in sight. So you had heard something about Putin. What was going on? You were telling me something off camera.
Well, I think I gave you the thing. Like one of Putin's allies, well, the daughter of one of Putin's allies was killed in the car bombing.
You sent me a link about a 2-year-old boy getting hit by a car. I don't know. So one of Putin's allies get killed in a car bombing. Okay.
No, well, one of Putin's allies, they're the daughter of one of the, one second.
Not a clue what you're talking about.
Oh, did I give it to you? No, wait a second. Hold on.
You didn't give it to me.
All right, fine. Maybe this here, right here. Daughter of Putin ally killed in suspected car bombing near Moscow.
Okay. Let me share screen again.
Well, it's a video.
Okay, well, I don't want to play a video because it's gonna might violate my copyright. I might violate the copyright because if it's a news video, they're usually the audio and the video is usually copyrighted. Yeah, this is CBC News, but yeah, daughter Putin ally. I'll just read the header. Dara Dugina or Dugina, or sorry, I'm really bad with Russian names. Daria Dugina, daughter of prominent Russian ideologue Alexander Dugin, was killed Saturday when a suspected explosive device detonated on the Toyota Land Cruiser she was traveling in. Investigators from the Moscow region said in a statement. That sounds like Black Ops stuff. I mean, regardless of what you think of Putin, regardless of what you think of Putin's allies, killing innocent civilians, but that sounds like a very organized Black Ops attack or Black Hat attack. But yeah, so you know, this war is going to continue to escalate. We should be negotiating for an end to the war so that we can have an end to the food crisis. But instead, it continues on because defense contractors are making a ton of bank. But yeah. So what's your opinion about all the current events of the Ukraine war? Really, not much has changed. I mean, Ukraine has counterattacked and retaken a tiny bit of territory. That's about the only thing I can say that's changed. They've retaken some territory, but they haven't retaken the major cities at the like Kherson and Mariupol that Russia has still continues to occupy.
Yeah.
So it's
it just keeps on going.
largely a stalemate. It's going to keep on going. It may even go for years at this rate, because we're already like the war started February 24th, and this is already August 21st. So we're already almost at the 6-month point with no end in sight. Anyway,
do you think Ukrainian civilians are still killing Russian generals?
well, that was done. That some of the Russian generals made some really severe mistakes. There was like one Russian lieutenant general who basically broke into a Ukrainian cell phone store and managed to steal a cell phone. And the United States, with their military intelligence, told them about this, and they were able to track these Russian generals that had stolen Ukraine cell phones with a SIM card. And because for some reason the Russian Army's communication system was so disorganized that they were having to use cell phones to contact like divisional command, which just sounds really badly organized. But the Russians have coalesced, they've withdrawn, redeployed, and seem to be doing slightly better than they were before, but it's still largely stalemate. I think the Russians have learned from some of their lessons, you know, and obviously that Russian lieutenant general got killed. I can't remember his name, by a sniper. So, but yeah, I know Putin brought in a new commander to oversee the entire field of battle, and it continues on. Who knows when there'll be an end to it. So anything else that you have on your mind or want to talk about in regards to Ukraine before we move on to the next topic? Quickly, if you can.
No, just nothing to come to mind.
One thing I want to talk about is I'm going to be going to Dragoncon soon.
Oh, that's exciting.
Go to the website here. I'll be leaving August 30th. I'll be staying with a friend for about a day, and then but yeah, here's the Dragoncon website. It is 10 days, 22 hours, 4 minutes, 54 seconds. Now 51 seconds, 50 seconds. Anyway, I can't keep counting down, but I love how they have the countdown counter for anticipation. This is my favorite comic book sci-fi convention, gaming convention. I'm going to be doing a lot of tabletop gaming. If any of you recognize me from the internet on my YouTube, I mean, I don't have a very big following. I have almost 1,200 subscribers, but it's not a very big following. But sometimes people say, hey, I remember you from YouTube. You can approach me and I will be handing out Lego toys and flyers, free Lego toys. I have Lego toy packs that I'll be handing out. But there, in order to get the free Lego toy pack, you're going to have to, at DragonCon, if you run into me, you're going to have to, and you're going to have to show me that you've followed me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube. And if you do that, you will get a free pack of Lego toys. They're technically Pedic blocks. I got them from the Daiso store, which is Japanese dollar store import, but they're very, very nice. Let's see. Hold on just a sec. But yeah, each as you can see here, there's one that's a dinosaur. It's totally disassembled, but they're technically Legos. They're called pettit blocks, but they're Legos. And it comes with a manual with instructions on how to build this little figurine. Like I have also a tank. So you approach me at Dragoncon, say, hey, I want some Lego toys. I will give you a flyer. And if you follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube, then you will get a free pack of these. I'll be handing out probably about 50. Isn't that cool? What do you think, Daniel?
Yeah, I never really cared for Lego because it was kind of, complicated.
It's only complicated if you don't read the directions. Those come with instructions, and it tells you how to build a little figurine. Like I have like Lego dinosaurs, Lego tanks, just little neat stuff. Last year when I went to Dragoncon, I got swamped. I only handed out like I think 15 packs of Lego toys last year. This year I'm going to ramp it up a little bit and hand out like 50. People were swamped because like Dragoncon, they used to hand out a lot of free stuff, and now the free swag because of COVID. They had to cancel Dragoncon for the first time in history back in 2020. Last year was a lot of restrictions on crowd size because of COVID, and then this year I've also been approved for press again, so I'll be doing interviews as well of cosplayers. And I'll be doing some live streaming on Instagram, but and I'll be handing out flyers for 8footbeast.com, which is my girlfriend's website. She has her fantasy character that she created on there. But actually, let me do a promo on that. Okay. You see that?
Yeah.
It's a pretty cutesy comic. This is Anne's comic. I'm gonna be handing out color prints of these as well. I think it's pretty cool. She did like a little self-portrait here. You got Rock Ann, 5'2", another fantasy character she created called Castle, 7'8". And then you have 8-foot Beast is peering at them by a campsite. And then 8-foot Beast or Lucifer, 8 foot tall, growls and roars. And then it says she jumps in excitement, briefly channeling her inner cat girl. And she has cat ears. Then she's kissing him and hugging him. And then they're both on each leg because he's so big and massive. And it says here, 8-foot Beast or Lucifer is an 8 foot tall gothic orc-like monster that is 500 pounds and can lift over 8 tons. He also loves cosplay, comics, and interacting with people online through Instagram, TikTok, or VR. And then, go to 8footbeast.com, and also on Twitter at 8footbeast.com and on Instagram. And it's got a little QR code. So yeah, I'm going to be handing these comic strips out. What do you think of her character, 8-foot Beast?
It's
kind of funny.
Yeah.
You're kind of amused by it.
Yeah, it is.
It's okay.
Funny.
You could say what you want.
No, it is kind of fun. I've never seen a comic before in my life.
Okay. She just created it. But yeah, see people to see. We can talk about like some of the featured guests at Dragoncon.
You think Shatner will be there?
Maybe sometimes he shows up to DragonCon unannounced. Okay, so this is the 2022 list at DragonCon of featured guests. Oh, you got an actress from Star Trek Discovery season 4.
It's an actor.
Actor.
It's a guy.
Very androgynous. But yeah, I could care less.
I don't know any of these people. Let's see, Daryl Banks, Mark Bagley. Well, Maria.
This guy was really nice. Dino, or Dino and Andrade. He did voice acting for World of Warcraft. Oh, Marina,
Baccarin.
Oh, I gotta meet her. She's so hot. But I mean, she seemed like a cool person, but a lot of times I have to sign an agreement. Like last 2 times I did press, I had to sign an agreement saying that I cannot request interviews from celebrity guests unless I get approval ahead of time. So I may have to, I don't know. I'll have to play it by ear because I don't want to lose my press credentials. But I'll try to get a meet with her and see what I can do, or either take some pictures from afar. But yeah, she's famous for Firefly, and she also is the actress that did Deadpool's girlfriend. You know, you remember that in Deadpool?
Mm-hmm.
He
was like killed in number 2.
Most of these people I don't even recognize. These are like minor people. Oh, there's another actor from Discovery. Oh, Cruise Shadows is returning this year. I was really sad because Cruise Shadows didn't perform last year. I've been going to DragonCon since 2003. That was the first year I went. And from 2003 to 2019, they performed at DragonCon every year. And then in 2020, they unexpectedly canceled DragonCon at the last minute, like a couple months before. I remember that kind of screwed me up because then I had to cancel my flight. And then and then I had to get credit, and then I used the credit for the next year. And then in 2021, for some reason, they didn't perform. And so, yeah, very good band if you're into dark wave. If you're not into dark wave, then you probably won't like it. But I like dark wave. So Cruise Shadows and Maria Baccarin. Am I pronouncing her name correctly?
Yeah, Baccarin.
Baccarin. And got an actress from Stargate SG-1. I never was a big fan of Stargate SG-1. Jill Gerard, he always does DragonCon. He's, because that's pretty much the only game he's got left. He's famous for doing the 1980s really cheesy sci-fi Buck Rogers in the 21st century. Erin Gray, she always does DragonCon. Walter Koenig will be there. I've tried to interview him in the past. I've tried to interview him in the past, and he's turned me down for an interview. I guess he thinks my steampunk appearance was a little bit too weird. But whatever, that's his right. I'm not gonna, you don't have to do an interview with me if you don't want to. I totally understand. Oh, I've met her before. She's really nice. Danielle Panabaker. She plays Killer Frost in The Flash. That's a pretty big celebrity guest. Anthony Rapp. He's a Star Trek Discovery actor. Oh, there's an Arrowverse actor, David Ramsey.
Diggle.
Hey,
William Shatner's there.
Yes, William Shatner is going to be here.
When is this DragonCon?
What?
When is it? September 1st?
September 1st through September 5th, 2022.
Ah, cool.
Which is, it's every Labor Day weekend. Garrett Wang from Star Trek Voyager. That's a pretty major one. I like Star Trek Voyager. I don't care about the Star Trek Discovery guests because I'm not a fan of Star Trek Discovery, but I am definitely a fan of Star Trek Voyager. There's an actress. I never watched Titans. Did you ever watch Titans? There's an actress from Titans.
I never did. The people try to get me into it, and I'm like, no, I don't find it interesting.
Why do you not find it interesting?
It's disconnected. It was disconnected from the Arrowverse. It's Earth 9. It takes place on Earth 9.
But I thought after Crisis on Infinite Earths, it all got integrated again.
Well, yeah, certain Earths like Earth 38 and Earth 1 and Black Lightning's Earth, whatever that was, and yeah, but like Earth, like the Titans Earth stayed separate, right? Not everything was merged into Earth Prime. Only a few.
Oh, I forgot to mention, this is a major famous comic book artist, Jim Starlin. I can't believe this guy is still around. He's been around since the like 1960s and 70s. He's a comic book artist and writer. Comic book writer and artist best known for as co-creator of Thanos. Yes, that's right. This guy created Thanos, and he also created Shang-Chi, which is the basis of the movies. So I definitely want to try to score an interview with this guy, hopefully. But, you know, if I have to sign another disclosure agreement stating that I can't interview celebrity guests if I don't get approval from their agents ahead of time, then I probably won't be able to. That's why I didn't interview anybody from last year. Voltaire will be there. He's a performer and media personality, and he does magic, and he also has he does gothic dark wave music. But yeah, pretty cool, huh? A lot of good celebrities there this year. What do you think? Is anybody you're excited to see me like get a video of?
Yeah.
The problem with William Shatner,
just...
every time William Shatner goes to Dragoncon, he's always surrounded by heavy security, and he's in an isolated room, and they block everybody from camera view. So like the last time he was at Dragoncon, I couldn't get okay, there's somebody here from Star Trek Picard, Michelle Hurd. I hate her character because her character is like a drug addict. He's always smoking. She just seems whiny. I don't like her. I just don't like her character in Star Trek Picard.
She's a weirdo.
But anyway, we are out of time. Let me stop sharing. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This has been The World is a Mess, and I just want to steampunk it. This is episode 74. This is August 21st, 2022. I'm your host, Steampunk Star Raisin, here in North Hollywood, California, USA. And you're here with my co-host, Daniel Berterson, who is in Bellwood, Ontario, Canada. You have a nice day, and I will see you 25 billion years. Well.